Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching y'all how to dribble in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. I'm actually going to be demonstrating with Brandon Jennings. I'm not even using like Steph or Kyrie or anything. I have to do this on PlayStation. The only card that I could use on my PlayStation account that really dribbles well is this Brandon Jennings card. So don't even have the top tier cards to show y'all with, but I want to show y'all how to dribble effectively in MyTEAM. Going to be teaching basically everything you need to know in MyTEAM. I may do another video later on the quick stop and so maybe some more advanced moves. But for right now, going to be teaching you all the basic dribble moves that you need to know in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM to have a ton of success creating shots. Now, I can't green at all, but can't help y'all with that one. I'm on PlayStation. I don't even know what shot timing I'm on, but that's not what we're here for. Who cares if I'm making shots? So before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If y'all are new to the channel, make sure y'all subscribe for the best MyTEAM content. I know a lot of new viewers might be watching this channel trying to learn how to dribble who don't generally watch my content, and I would really appreciate if y'all do subscribe if you haven't already for great MyTEAM content. But yeah, with that being said, without further ado, let's hop right into it. I don't know where my shot feedback is. It doesn't matter. So we're going to start off with the regular standstill dribble moves. Starting off with a size up. Y'all can see on this dribble tutorial, all you do for a size up is left hand or right stick flick up towards the opposite ball hand without holding right trigger. That's going to be a size up. A lot of cards have really good size up animations, such as Steve Francis. Brandon Jennings does not have a good size up. That's okay. Lots of cards have different size up animations. Then to do a momentum size up, just hold right trigger. Same thing. You'll get a better animation here. This is a more useful animation this year, I would say, is the size up standstill like this. It's a more used animation this year than I feel like it's been the last couple of years, and it's definitely a lot more useful, I feel like, especially with the time burst right now, with a lot of cards not having good dribble styles, because a size up you can't burst very well off of right now unless you have a good dribble style, and very few cards, especially in MyTEAM, have those elite dribble styles right now. So size up like that, momentum size up the other way, just same way, just holding right trigger. Same thing with a behind the back. You can do a standing behind the back, pushing your right trigger down diagonally like so, and then a momentum behind the back, which is the Curry slide for Brandon Jennings, but a lot of cards have other ones, but for Brandon Jennings it's this Curry slide, is flicking the right stick while holding right trigger. So again, stand still will give you the standing behind the back, and then with holding right trigger will give you the escape, the momentum behind the back that you can get right there. So between the legs works the same way. Holding right trigger will give you a certain between the legs animation, and then not holding right trigger will give you a different between the legs animation. And again, all of these things, the behind the back with the between the legs and the size up, there are a bunch of different size up animations for that are different in the game. So that's something that's important to keep in mind. But these are all your standing dribble moves. If you flick the right stick straight up, it's going to give you a different sort of like breakdown move of some sort. Brandon Jennings is kind of cool. Same thing if you're holding right trigger. If you hold right trigger, it'll give you a different one even. But holding right trigger or standing still is going to give you a different animation. When you flick the right stick up, it's just going to give you like combo moves animations. They call it like a breakdown dribble, I think. And that's what Brandon Jennings is looking like. So he's kind of moving though, I'm not gonna lie, for barely flicking their stick. It's kind of fun to use. But those are your standstill dribble moves. One other one that you want to know is the pullback, which is going to be holding your right trigger and flicking your right stick down. Lots of different animations for this. Cards like Steph, D-Book, Kyrie have better pullbacks than Brandon Jennings does, but you flick your right stick down while holding right trigger, it's going to give you a pullback animation that is going to pull the ball away from the basket. You do it twice, it's going to pull back into an escape. So for Brandon Jennings, I can pull back into his Curry escape, and then I can size out of it, timing burst, and just go get a bucket is what I'm saying. All these moves you can chain together, and that's what you really have to learn. But first, before you can learn to chain them together, you have to learn how to do the moves, period. Once you learn how to do the moves, period, then you will have tons of success dribbling and chaining them together. So those are all your standstill dribble moves. With that pullback being the last one, and hopefully that makes sense. Now you have a same side hezzy as well. I guess that's also a standstill move, so I got to include that in there. This same side hezzy move right here that you can do. It's basically a size up, but it's going toward the ball hand instead of away from the ball hand while holding right trigger. If you're not holding right trigger, you can still do it. It's going to give you a different hezzy animation as well. So that's the hezzy. This is your momentum hezzy holding right trigger right here, and you can burst out of this momentum hezzy as well. Now, the most important dribble move I think that you need to know is the one after this, but I will mention one more because I just forgot about it. It's the misdirection. This misdirection right here, holding right trigger and pushing your right stick away from the ball hand diagonally down, your left stick towards the ball hand diagonally down, is going to give you this misdirection animation. And Trey misdirection is the one that Brandon Jennings has. You can spam this, and it's the right stick is going, while you're holding right trigger, right stick is going away from the ball hand like you were doing an escape, but the left hand is going towards the ball hand, which prevents you from doing this escape, and he does this misdirection move instead. And Brandon Jennings does have the Trey escape, which is the best escape or best misdirection in the game, and that's triggered by the escape is what triggers that misdirection as well. but that is how you do a misdirection. The most important dribble move to know how to do right now is the timing burst. The timing burst is a move you can only do out of 3 dribble moves: a standing holding right trigger momentum size up, a standing holding right trigger between the legs, and a standing holding right trigger same side hezzy. Those are the only 3 moves that you can do this timing burst out of right now, but you can do them with basically any player. You just have to time it properly. The reason I call it a timing burst is because the only way that you get this good burst animation that you see me doing on most of these, like you see how quick that burst is. Brandon Jennings' dribble style is not good. You see how he's going to run out of it. He doesn't run and burst really well. Only Kyrie has a Kyrie dribble style right now, which seems to be the only dribble style that you really burst out of properly, even without having to do a timing burst out of everything. But to get this type of burst, it's same side crossover, momentum between the legs, momentum size up, same side hezzy, I'm sorry, momentum between the legs and momentum size up is how you're going to get that. The actual timing on it, all you have to do, you're holding right trigger, you do your size up, right? As soon as the ball hits the opposite hand, that's when you burst. As soon as the ball hits the opposite hand, like it's about to touch the opposite hand, that's when you run that way. You're hezzying to the left, so for the same side hezzy, you have to go to the side that you're hezzying toward. For the between the legs, you have to go away from the side that you're hezzying, away from obviously towards the side that you're putting the ball between the legs towards, and then same thing with the size of it. It's towards the side that you're already moving the ball towards is how you get that burst. A counter to the burst, which this is a super important move. You have to know the timing. You just do it right as the ball is hitting the hand after being dribbled, because it gets dribbled and then as soon as it's hitting the hand, that's when you want to burst. And it's a timing thing and it's something to practice, and it's harder to do in game than it is to do in freestyle. So practice it in freestyle, get it down, and then go practice in game. And you'll get to the point where you can really chain some stuff together like this. All the moves that I've taught y'all so far allow you to really chain moves together, and you can really start to get some offense going with these moves. And really just cook up in my team, and you get these bursts going and stuff like that. It's going to give you the ability to get a lot of offense going and create a lot of shots out of your movement and stuff. So but yeah, I mean, that is about the basics of half court dribbling. Full court dribbling is simple. I will say there's a couple things I want to talk about. It's really basically just your full court between the legs, which is going to be running up the court, flick the ball with the opposite hand as you're running up the court. You let go of right trigger. I think you can do it while you're holding right trigger too. I generally let go of right trigger when I'm doing it between the legs, but yeah, you can do it between, you don't have to be holding right trigger or not. It's a slightly different animation whether you're holding right trigger or not, but it's literally just running up the court, flick the ball straight across towards the opposite ball hand, and that's going to give you the between the legs. The behind the back is basically the same. You're flicking it diagonally down towards the opposite ball hand instead of sideways toward the opposite ball hand, but that's going to give you the moving behind the back, which is a slightly, I mean, it's a good animation. Steph Curry, he has the Steph Curry behind the back. Also, the moving behind the back is the move that triggers whether or not you have a good escape this year. So Steph moving behind the back also gives you the Curry slide, which is really, really useful because you get an elite behind the back and an elite escape. So that is really, really nice. But the other move that you probably want to know when you're going full court is this breakout push dribble. That push dribble right there is going to be a really, really, really nice move with bigger players, especially to give them a bit of a speed boost off of like an offensive rebounder, just to push the ball up the court. That gives you a little bit of a speed boost. It's a useful move to use as well when you're running up the court and you're like holding right trigger and then you let go of right trigger, quickly tap it and then hold it again. So you literally just, you're holding right trigger, you tap it, and then you keep running, and you're going to get that some sort of hezzy animation if you're in the front court, or a push animation if you're in the back court. The one other move that I didn't talk about is the push cross, which is very simple. You're literally holding right trigger, and you, while holding right trigger with the ball for your right hand, for example, you're going to hold the ball, you're going to hold your trigger diagonally up towards the opposite side of the court, basically diagonally towards the opposite side of the court, and you're going to get this push cross animation. Brandon Jennings has a very good one. It's a very quick animation. Some cards have really nice ones that can beat CPU defenders off the dribble really effectively, and then some cards have pretty slow push cross animations, but that is okay in my opinion. I like Brandon Jennings though, and the push cross is definitely a move that is a very useful move, especially off like a time burst, because I can time burst here, but then I can push cross back to the right side, for example. That's just an example right there of how you can use these bursts though and combo them together, because the push cross is one of the most effective ways, kind of like the timing burst, to get your player moving quickly and kind of get to where you have momentum and can create more shots and do more things off of it. So hopefully that makes sense how you're going to use all these things together. Now, I can show you all the moves, but you all have to learn how to combo them all together. It takes a lot of practice to become a good dribbler. So if you're not a good dribbler right now, that is okay. It does not happen overnight. I'm not even the best dribbler in the world, but I've gotten pretty solid at it, I'd say. And I got to be honest, this Brandon Jennings, I think I have like real shot timing on or something, but ignore the fact of how many shots I'm missing. I am dribbling quite well. well. I may do another video on some more advanced dribbling techniques or something like that. So if there's anything specific y'all would like me to teach y'all how to do, or anything that I maybe forgot in this video that y'all would like to hear my thoughts on, feel free to let me know. But hopefully I pretty much covered everything, and hopefully this video really helps you out to become a better dribbler and run more offense effectively in my team. I'm giving away a lot of sauce this week. I've given away a lot of useful stuff, and hopefully it's helping y'all's gameplay improve, giving out this type of information to y'all. So hopefully this dribble tutorial helps y'all a lot. We don't generally see a lot of my team specific dribble tutorials too. So hopefully this can help y'all out to understand how dribbling works in my team specifically. So that is going to do it for this video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did enjoy the video, again, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and please do subscribe, especially if you're a new viewer. Would really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.